the Young Turks Mentors.
Next speaker is a co-founder of Practo. It's a company he founded in 2009 when he was still in college. He was studying at NIT Srivatsa. And today the company is valued at 1,000 odd crores, if I've got that number right from reports. And he's already established it globally as well, has operations out of Philippines and Singapore. And we first featured Practo on Young Turks in 2013. And we are so happy to have this 27-year-old on the mentor stage today to talk you through what he believes is the mantra of entrepreneurship, that nothing is impossible. So, Shashank.
Thank you, and very good evening to everyone. Thank you, Young Turks, for having me up on the stage today. I should first of all start by sharing a quick story about Dr. Srivatsa. I got a call about 2 years back, and he was pretty angry with me. He had read my post about how the government is killing startups, which I had written naively in 2009. So I had listed down some of the reasons why, couple of ways in which government is not really helping startups. And he told me, why don't you meet me today and I'll tell you how we're changing that. And I was a little surprised, and I walked into his chambers, and there he spoke about his vision about Mobile One and about how he wanted more startups to be part of it. I said we'll try. And I was so surprised at the speed at which the government worked, he worked, and everything worked around it to making it coming live. So we are of course on the app, and so that tells me that there's many things can change. And that brings a lot of hope to all of us. So let me tell you a little bit about Practo first, and about me a little bit. So Practo started in 2008. Today we are about 1,500, moving to about 2,000 people in about 4 countries, soon to be 10 countries. We provide a software to doctors called Practo Ray. It's a SaaS software that doctors use to manage their schedules and the patient records and billing and more. The second product we have is called Practo.com, which helps consumers like us find a doctor, find a diagnostic center, and many more. We have I think about 170,000 doctors on it, about 10,000 hospitals, 4,000 diagnostics. We're the #1 search platform in Asia, number 4 or 5 in the world, and we are the fastest growing. So very soon we hope to be the #1 in the world. So today I wanted to talk about some of the questions that I faced and how we reacted to those questions. The reason why I want to talk about impossible is nothing is because there were certain situations that I faced, and I'm pretty sure you'll face as well, where the situation was an impossible one, and how and why we took those answers to those situations, and how that has resulted in us being here. Many a times I'm a little disappointed with the way our ecosystem has worked. I've been in the startup space for about 7 years. I've seen it grow from an OCC open coffee club in a small cafe in Koromangala to the humongous thing it's today in all over India. And it's been a huge journey. But one of the things that I find that we could do better going forward is really focus on innovation, where we are not really just re-implementing something that we see working elsewhere, but we are really doing something from first principles. Something that India needs, something that is not probably available outside, but something that we have built from here. Let me start first with the first part. In 2008, I was in college, and we came up with this idea, which we felt was superb, which we felt was really innovative, and something that can change the world, something that the world did not have, not just India. And it was a time when we had to decide whether we wanted to take up our jobs or actually continue with our startup. This was just when the Lehman Brothers had collapsed, and there was a huge economic turmoil, and jobs were not that easy to find. Thanks to the college that we were from, we had good jobs to hand back. That time, every single person that I met, the startup ecosystem was not this evolved. There were very few people who knew about startups in 2008-7. Every single person I met, the outstanding suggestion they had was, come on, there's no funding in this space, there is really no backing. Why don't you just work for some more years, take some experience, go to these branded places, get a brand behind your name, do this MBA or do these other things, and then you can start off. It is impossible for you to succeed. This was the consistent theme that my family, my friends, my best friends, and many of them shared. But something within me which was pushing us to continue with the journey that we had started off. It was the culture that we had spent a few months before this question arrived. That culture that the startup had was so strong. Me and my co-founder Abhinav, we had such a strong culture in Practo that we loved coming to work. And we said, we don't want to drop this for anything else. It was an impossible situation. Put yourself in the shoes of a 22-year-old walking into and starting off a company without any backing whatsoever, and bootstrapping it for 3 years in India. And I think we were able to take that impossible decision primarily because of the culture that we had put together, and we really we liked that culture that we saw. Moving on, what we did was we started selling software to doctors. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about selling software. We started selling SaaS software in 2008 and 9. Okay, well before SaaS was even a coined term in India, and selling software itself was quite difficult in India. So we started selling SaaS, and then to add on top of that, we had to sell it to doctors. Right? Not the best bunch to get cash out of. And to add on top of that, we had to do SaaS in a feet on street model because doctors are not online. They were, you couldn't reach them through a Google or a Facebook, etc. You had to actually go meet them and sell them directly. So what do you do when you face such an impossible situation? You go online and read, right? So we went online. All the blogs said, if you're doing SaaS and you're doing feet on street, and if you're doing less than $100 a month, you're going to die. Not the most reassuring thing you want to read online. So nobody in the world had actually done SaaS, feet on street to doctors. And even forget doctors, just SaaS, feet on street. But we found a way. We found a way to actually implement it, and today we are probably India's most successful SaaS product with more than 50,000 doctors using it. And I think even if you consider the 50,000 doctors who are using our product, it's going at a really, really rapid pace. So from that very impossible situation where we were faced with a model that everyone had described around the world as a model that will fail and the model that will never succeed, and you're reading everything that's available online and saying everything online tells you that you're going to fail, right? And you still believe in it. From such an impossible situation to come out is very important. So I follow a philosophy where if there's something I believe in, and if I take an opinion poll and 9 out of 10 people don't believe in it, then it must be really, really good. And I really follow it. So I think it's important to think first. Many a times people fall in this trap that only things that are established, only things that are already been done can be done again. That things cannot be done which have so far. I think impossible is only because somebody has not tried hard enough. Right? It's just beyond that cusp, and you can really push towards it. So from that journey of bootstrapping a company, right out of college for 3 years, selling SaaS on the streets to doctors, we've come a long way. Today we have a consumer portal, which again people said having a SaaS product and a consumer product in the same company, quite difficult. Nobody has really pulled it off. There's no company that actually has a SaaS offering and a consumer offering of repute, especially in the healthcare space. And 3 years back, we started a consumer portal called Practo.com. It's very successful today. We do about 10 million searches every month, and we are now growing at almost 100% quarter on quarter. So what I'm trying to focus on is that with Practo Ray and Practo.com, today we have something called as a hyperloop, a model that has never been ever attempted before in healthcare. The third element of the impossible story was when we went into different, when we had to raise funding, we went into different rooms and we said, what we want to do? We don't want to build a SaaS company. We don't want to build a marketplace. What we want to do is we want to build an account for every individual. We want to become a platform. and they very kindly looked at me a few years back and they said, platform from India? Really? Southeast Asia? Can we do that? I thought it's only reserved for the Silicon Valley. So it is very, and so I think, so we really believed in it, and again it reinforced to me that when 9 people out of 10 people laugh at it, it's probably a good thing to do. So when 9 out of 10 investors did not like what we said, and they said, you know what, if you do this, we are happy with it, but if you do a platform, not our cup of tea, we said, we like this tea. And so we moved on from there, and we were able to, kind of build a company from first principles, take on impossible situations, and build a very pioneering effort in what we are doing. And the message here is that at multiple times, there will be, times at which you got to come up with your own answers. You don't have to depend on someone. You don't have to listen to someone. You don't have to worry about it. When people tell you that, can you really build the first platform from India, which is comparable to a Facebook and a Google, the answer is yes, it can happen. The answer is not no. The answer is not that, we need to do something that this, of this. So I believe that, agreeing to what Naveen mentioned, that in the next 10 years, India is going to produce a lot. India is going to become a superpower, especially from an innovation and startup point of view in the world. And I think we have it all in us to be able to compete and to build companies of global repute. So that's going to require a lot of impossible situations to be proved possible. And I'm with you to all those who are facing impossible situations and are taking them head on. I can at least let you know that I'm with you. One of the 3 cornerstones of our company, which I'm very proud of and I think might be very helpful for you, has been that all these situations, kind of build the character of a company. And there are 3 very important things that I focus on. I think are very important. The first one is the culture, which was the reason why we continued from college. The second one was the team. Even those 4 years where we really struggled, the team was really strong. The 10 people who survived those 4 years today are in all the different major positions. The third element is your vision. Right? I think vision is supreme, and what held us on to this health account of ours, and to be okay with people laughing at that particular concept, was because we really believed in it. And that was the vision of ours. And that ensured that we don't, move in any other direction. We move straight on to the vision that we had. So these 3 things, which is the culture, the team, and the vision, is what differentiates companies. They can build whichever products they want to build. They can go into whichever geographies they want to go. They can, be anywhere, anytime. They can do whatever they want. But these are the 3 things that differentiate companies. And everything else is the byproduct. So I'm really looking forward to today's event on mentoring the startups. And I really wanted to show you a video that we actually recently put together, which talks about how these 3 things actually come together. So can we have that? This is the first time we're playing this in public.
Life never tells you what it's up to. Never. That's the real world. Good, bad, fair, unfair, and other grey areas. All mixed in one beautiful concoction. Not everybody in this world has the power to connect the good and the bad, the fair and the unfair. Because not many in the world have the conviction to believe that the good can overpower the bad, that even some light can absolve all darkness. Connection, the ethos of our civilization. Sometimes it happens through words, sometimes through gestures, sometimes through smiles, and sometimes through the magic of technology. A technology that can redefine lives of hundreds, if not millions. Technology that can change the life of just one soul, if not 100. A technology that values bonding. A technology that can harness goodness to the whole world. But what's the essence of technology without the sense of humanity? Humanity is not the character of just one person, but the greatness of an entire community which works towards a new future. day in and day out, and no team of people can be driven to do anything without a great purpose. And what purpose can be bigger and greater than the health of millions across the world? What purpose can be bigger than connecting the dots? Nothing. So what matters while practicing greatness? Everything. Simply everything matters. Every joke that you crack, every extra hour you put in, every extra line of code you write, every extra mile you go, every extra word you speak, every idea, every thought, every little detail, every single moment matters. It matters because it helps not just you, but also somebody around you. It simply drives everybody to be second to none. It pushes somebody around you to change the way the world thinks. It drives them to be persistent, to be consistent, to not give it up, to do what you know the best, to do wonders, to do something that the world will remember you for, to simply do great.
So right, so with that's the ethos with which each Praction works really hard, and we try to undo the impossible. Thanks.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on that, and thank you very much for releasing that here at the Young Turks Conclave. A quick question from my side, because you said that very often when you do a vote and 9 out of 10 people disagree with your idea, you know you're onto the right thing. Has there been a moment in the recent past where you're the only one in the room with the yes vote and everybody else is in disagreement?
Well, this rule actually applies to outside Practo. Because inside Practo, each Praction is very passionate, very entrepreneurial. Because inside Practo we are very entrepreneurial, there's a lot of ownership. So which means that everything is somebody's baby. So you can't mess with that baby. So you can only give your views and points, and the person who's accountable for it takes the final call. So inside Practo that's how it works. But outside Practo, absolutely. There are, when you think about impossible, many people regard it as something that cannot be done. It's just a little further away than what has previously been done. That's about it. So when you're convinced about it, and the problem is the following: if you believe in something, and if outside the company, and if 9 people agree with you, then there must be some reason this did not work before. But if 9 people outside the company do not agree with you, then probably nobody has tried hard enough. Yeah. So those are actually the easier ones to solve for than the ones that everybody knows is going to happen.
Well, congratulations and continue to do great. Thanks very much for joining us here at the Young Turks Conclave.
The Young Turks Mentors.